My friends and family paired me up with a groomsman at a wedding, hoping for a wedding romance, but I have zero interest in babysitting this middle aged man. This happened at a wedding where I was a bridesmaid a few weeks ago. I, 35 female, have never been married, have no kids, and will more than likely be the last of my friend group to get married. I've been a bridesmaid too many times to count. Almost always I get paired off with another single guy. My family and friends treat these pairings as an attempt to hook me up with someone. They think it'll be so romantic if we could one day tell our grandkids that we met at a wedding. I've never been interested in these guys. At the last wedding I attended, I was paired with the groom's 42-year-old stepbrother. From the start, I wasn't interested in Dave. If I saw his profile on a dating app, I'd swipe left immediately. If not, block him for violations against my eyes. Back to the wedding. I got through the ceremony and moved on to the reception. I ran into some old friends I hadn't seen in a long time and didn't know would be in town. We spent the night catching up and covertly watching a VGK game someone was streaming on their phone. At one point, the bride approached me and asked if I wanted to sit with Dave. He was sitting alone and, according to her, wanted to get to know me better. I told her politely that I wasn't interested and went back to talking with my friends. If Dave wanted to talk to me, well, he's a grown man and could approach me himself. One more thing. A few months before the wedding, I started seeing a guy I met at a conference. I never told anyone because I wasn't sure if the relationship would last at the time. It's an international LDR, and I know there will be some pushback. Even if I were single, though, I still wouldn't have been interested in Dave anyway. I spent the night hanging out with my friends, having a great time, and didn't think much of it until a few weeks later. I saw the bride at a party, and she didn't even greet me. Instead, she told me I was a cow for ignoring Dave. Apparently, he thought I was cute and wanted to talk to me, but didn't because he struggles with social cues. She said I could have at least sat with him for a few minutes and been nice. First off, I'm sick of being nice just to make a man happy. I told her I was there to be a bridesmaid, not to babysit a middle-aged man. She still called me a rude, stuck-up female dog. So, was I really wrong for this? Or was the bride out of line? No relevant comments. Comment 1 indeed. You were not, nor should have been, a minder for a middle-aged man. If Dave thought you were cute and wanted to spend time with you, he could have opened his mouth and said so. Imagine if you ended up dating or marrying Dave. Then you could be his social coordinator and handholder, possibly for the rest of your life. Doesn't that sound like a plan? If you had been told being a date with Dave was the bride's expectation of you as a member of the bridal party, you could have saved yourself some money and time and excuse yourself from the whole event. Response: if I had known I would have to babysit an underemployed 42-year-old man who is twice my size, I would have dropped out of bridesmaid detail and then retire from the position. Comment 2: weddings are not a speed dating event. Wedding parties should not be created with the intent that the match pairs would hook up. Haven't we seen posts where people are freaked out that their so is paired with a single person and act like this means their so will cheat? Whatever promises the bride made gave her problem. You are not a party favor to be awarded. She can find someone else to pimp out. Update: hello! I made a post about a year ago about a wedding I attended where I ignored a groomsman who wanted to hook up with me. It didn't get much attention, but the comments were pretty life-affirming. I've been going through a hard time for a few years now. It's frustrating to watch your friends find the one and settle down while you're struggling to navigate your 30s alone. Especially when you're from a family in part of the country where if a woman isn't married with kids by a certain age, something must be wrong with her. My family and friends mean well, but they don't always realize how their actions hurt me. Dave did try to reach out to me after the wedding, but I blocked him. I haven't seen him since, nor do I care to know what he's up to. I stopped talking to the bride. I really didn't appreciate the name-calling or being expected to babysit a middle-aged man anyway. I wanted to update on this story so I can close out that part of my life. After the wedding, I made it clear to everyone, I'm done being a bridesmaid. I'm officially retired. If you're getting married, good for you, but I won't be a bridesmaid. Not even for an all-expenses-paid bachelorette trip to Cancun? I think the fact that I spent the last wedding getting drunk and watching a hockey game with friends says it all. I'm just burned out from attending too many weddings. That retirement became official over the summer. I had mentioned that I was in a long distance relationship. It didn't work out, but it introduced me to a major career opportunity. I spent a significant portion of 2024 applying for the job, waiting to hear back. And when I got hired, closing out my life in America, I'm now living in Australia, working at a job I love, and finally able to be my own person. I cut my hair, got some tattoos, found a hobby I'm passionate about, and made new friends who share my vibe. I don't think I'm going to get married. If I do, great. But at my age, I don't think kids are in my future anymore. And you know what? I'm starting to accept that my family doesn't. But my siblings have kids, so my parents can spoil them. I think I just needed to get away from a restrictive environment to find my own happiness. Thanks, everyone. I really needed this advice in my life. Still love the VGK, and now I can rep them from down under.